everyone! Hello, great learners! Welcome to another video of Homeroom Guidance lesson. Again, I am Great Teacher Kate, and I welcome you once again to our great community. For more updates, do not forget to follow us on our online platforms. We are present both on YouTube and Facebook at the Great Teachers Academy. So for today's lesson, we are going to discuss about one's uniqueness and differences. So we will tackle on how to embrace this uniqueness and differences. So before we proceed, let's have this lesson objectives first. So at the end of this module, you are expected to, number one, distinguish your own uniqueness and the characteristic of your immediate others. For example, family members. So how will you differ or how will you distinguish your own uniqueness versus your family members? Say for example, ako, mas mahilig ako sa food na maaanghang while my mom hindi. So something like that. And then, number two, identify action that show respect for individual differences as observed in family interaction. So anong ginagawa mong behavior, actions, or ways to show your respect na magkaiba ako at magkaiba din yung ugali namin sa family or even people in the community. And number three, value the importance of good relationship and individual differences. So how are we going to accept these differences? And by accepting, paano ba natin ma-establish ang good relationship? Alright. So before we proceed to our formal discussion or to our lesson proper, let's have this quick and simple activity to test your prior knowledge. Okay? So let's try this. So we have this springboard. I have this instruction as well. But before we start, let me read the instruction first. So number one, you have to copy the table below on a clean sheet of paper. So just copy this table. Then number two, complete the table by writing your personal responses under column B. So for column B, it is your personal response. So ikaw lang to. And then number three, interview at least two of your family members. So it can be your mom, dad, ate, kuya, or anyone in your household. So at least two family members. And then number four, answering the processing question after accomplishing the table. So after this slide, we have another activity, which are processing questions. But before we proceed to that, we have to answer this table first. Okay? So I will give you time to answer this, but you can pause this video to have much time answering our springboard. Alright, timer start now. Alright, so now that we're done answering this table, let's have the processing question. So number one, do you have the same answer as the other members of your family? What are these? So say for example, sa favorite food mo, pareho kayo ni mommy na sinigang. While si ate, iba yung favorite food niya. So those answers. And then number two, how are you different from your family members? Just cite some examples. Say for example, we are different in terms of interest. Iba yung interest ko or hobbies ko. So my interest can be paintings while my mom is more of traveling kasi meron siyang budget for that. So that's how you will do it for this one. Again, I will give you time to answer this. You may pause this video to have much time answering these processing questions. Okay, timer starts now. Alright, thank you for participating in our pre-assessment activity. Now, let's proceed to our formal discussion or formal lesson. Again, our topic is all about embracing uniqueness. So when you say uniqueness, ano ba to sa Tagalog? Uniqueness means katangi-tangi. Paano ka ba naiiba sa ibang tao? Okay? So, how are we going to respect uniqueness? So, being unique is something that you can be proud of. So, iba ako, ikaw ay naiiba sa akin, siya ay naiiba sa'yo, siya ay naiiba sa akin. Imagine, if the people in your community have the same face, that would be a challenge to determine who you are interacting with. Sabihin na natin lahat ng tao, pantay-pantay ang height, lahat ng tao, pareho ng buhok, pareho ng gupit ng buhok, pareho ng hugis ng mukha, pareho ng tangos ng ilong, lahat ng features ng mukha, pare-pareho. Paano mo nalalaman kung sino na si Teacher Kate? Kung sino na si friend mong si Brian? Kung sino yung ate mong si Shaira? How will you distinguish your teacher to your family member? Hence, the uniqueness of each person serves them to be recognized by others. So, parang ano yan ay, matangkad, maputi, si Teacher Brian yan. Yung teacher ba na maikli yung buhok tapos lagi nakasalamin? Baka si Teacher Kate yan. So that's how you distinguish one person to another. And that's how they are become unique to each other. Okay? So that in that way, you can easily identify your friends through their faces, preferences, gestures, and expressions. Keeping this in mind, we learn how to respect their individuality and establish healthy relationship with them. So as we go through our discussion, matututunan natin kung paano natin rerespetuhin yung pagkakaiba ng bawat isa. Okay? So here are some practical and effective ways on how to show respect for others' uniqueness. So number 1, recognize individual differences. When we say individual differences, ito po yung pinagkaiba ng bawat tao. Ibig sabihin, ako po ay ibang tao compared sa'yo. Ako rin po ay ibang tao sa mom ko. Kahit nasa isang family kami, iba-iba kami. Iba-iba kami ng ugali, iba-iba kami ng preferences, iba-iba kami ng interests, ng hobbies, ng behavior. Kahit nasa isang genetic kami or isang family kami, we still differ to each other. So, say for example, ang hilig ko ay maaanghang na pagkain. Ang hilig ko ay mga kulay dilaw or mga bright colors. Say for example, bright colors, yellow, orange, ano pa bang bright colors? Pink. So those are the bright colors. And then for example, yung mom ko, mahilig naman siya sa dark colors. So it can be blue, green, violet. So that's how you recognize individual differences. Kaya pala lahat ng gamit niya or ng mga dala-dala niya or even her clothes, puro dark colors. Kasi yun pala yung favorite niyang color. Yun pala yung preference niya. Ang preference niya sa mga dark colors. So, it says here that as we interact with other people, we tend to compare and differentiate our personality traits, characteristic, and behavior from others. Say for example, kasama ko palagi yung friend ko. Hindi ako mahilig sa ganitong movies. Mas drama yung gusto ko. And then yung friend ko, mas comedy naman. That's how you differentiate or compare yourself to other people. And by comparing and by differentiating, we easily identify or we easily understand kung bakit ganito ang kinikilos ng isang tao. Kaya pala mas binibili niyang or mas pinapanood niya sa Netflix mga sitcom or mga horror movies kasi yun pala yung favorite niya. Mas into that genre siya. Okay? So that's how you understand or value individual differences, because once you value and understand differences, you're able or you are becoming aware of person's actions, beliefs, and behavior. And by accepting these differences, it will help in establishing healthy relationship. Kasi once you accept the differences of each other, mas maiintindihan mo yung tao. And with that, meron kayong healthy relationship kasi handa kayo mag-compromise sa isa't isa. Next is to empathize. So when we say empathize, we see others' perspective, we recognize others without judgment, and understand others' feeling. Showing empathy can help you identify the needs of others, building emotional connection, and establishing meaningful relationship. So when we empathize, hindi lang natin tinitignan kung ano yung mahalaga sa atin, hindi lang natin tinitignan kung ano yung paniniwala natin, hindi tayo one-sided or hindi tayo biased. Tinitignan din natin or iniintindi din natin kung ano yung nakikita ng iba, kung ano yung perspective nila, kung ano yung point of view nila sa ganitong bagay. And we have to remember, by empathizing, wala po itong judgment. Na after mong tignan, ay ganun pala siya, ayoko na sa kanya. Hindi po yun empathizing. Hindi siya a way to show, hindi siya way of showing respect or of embracing uniqueness, but it's more of judging one's belief or one's behavior. Okay? Again, when you empathize, you always see others' perspective, and by seeing, it's not just by seeing, but also by understanding this. Because once understood, you are already building emotional connection and establishing meaningful relationships. Next, speak with kindness. So when we say speak with kindness, we are showing what kindness is. Say for example, it says here that proper communication is essential in showing respect for others. The best way to communicate is through our words and action. So when we say words and action, we do what we say. Hindi lang siya say, palaging may kasamang do. So for example, ang sasabihin ko, I will show some kindness today. Pero ang ginawa mo lang naman, humiga, kumain, hindi mo kinausap si friend mo, hindi mo inintindi or inaccept si friend mo on her situation or on dealing with her problems, hindi siya aligned sa actions mo. So your words should be aligned with your actions. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung sinabi mo, yun din yung gagawin mo. Same with actions. When we say, kapag actions naman, vice versa, kung ano yung ginagawa mo, you also have to communicate it. Kasi may mga taong hindi nila nagagets agad or hindi nila naiintindihan kung ano yung ginagawa mo. Meaning, you have to be clear on your intention na ginagawa ko to kasi gusto kong maintindihan mo na naiintindihan kita. Or gusto kong malaman mo na naiintindihan kita na ito yung pinagkaiba natin. So that's how you communicate your actions. Again, it is very, very important to understand how to speak with kindness. And it also says here that before we speak, we also know how to listen. Meaning, hindi lang po puro salita, kundi meron ding pakikinig. Hindi lang pagsasalita, meron ding pakikinig. Kasi alam mo din dapat kung paano makinig, hindi ka lang puro sabi ng sabi, ganito ako, ganito ganyan. Meron ka din dapat pakinggan. Kailangan mo rin pakinggan yung side ng iba, hindi lang dapat side mo. Okay? Next is promote positivity. So positive words and actions can influence the quality of our relationship, remember the use of words of appreciation, gratitude, and encouragement, and show actions like smiling, nodding, or tapping the shoulder to show affirmation. So, if you're familiar with love language, one of the love languages is words of affirmation. So when we say words of affirmation, ito yung mga words na ginagamit para ma-affirm mo yung isang tao. Meaning, para ma-encourage mo, para ma-uplift mo yung nararamdaman nila, para malaman nila na appreciate mo siya. So by promoting positivity, you're already accepting or recognizing who she is or who he is. Nai-influensyahan niya yung quality of your relationship. Okay? Next is express personal thoughts and feelings in an appropriate manner. So, as people have different ways on how we express our thoughts and feelings. So, some people express her thoughts by talking to their family, talking to their teachers or friends, while some express their thoughts by having a personal journal, by writing, by drawing, by painting. So may kanya-kanya tayong way kung paano natin ine-express yung feelings natin and yung thoughts natin. So maybe ikaw, as students, or as a person, mas gusto mong sinusulat yung feelings mo on a sheet of paper kasi mas gumagaan yung pakiramdam mo. And then, next is care to show compassion. Caring to show compassion is also showing respect for others. So, when we say compassion, when you say you're being compassionate, you're also showing respect to others. So, by that, it is by being a friend to anyone or to everyone. So, ibig sabihin, you're a good listener, you show good example, you are being concerned of the welfare of your friend or others, and of course, providing support during the times of difficulty. So, nandyan ka palagi. Every time na kailangan niya ng support, ng help, ng guidance, or every time na kailangan niya ng someone to vent out, nandyan ka para makinig. So, by that, you are already being compassionate. And then the last one is treating everyone with sincerity. So, by treating everyone, it means you're being honest in your actions and words. And we can show that by keeping our promises. So, kung ano yung sinabi mo, you should always keep it. And of course, kailangan align ulit sa actions mo kung ano yung sinasabi mo. And by also giving honest comments, being consistent in our behavior, and accepting our personal limitation. However, sabi dito, we need to be mindful on how we express our sincerity to still emphasize our good intention. Meron kasing tao sa sobrang sincere niya, hindi na na-emphasize yung good intention, but mas nakakasakit kasi sobrang praang ka na or sobrang totoo niya na. Hindi naman mali na maging totoo or magpakatotoo sa tao as long as na-emphasize mo kung bakit mo siya sinasabi sa kanya. Na, uy friend, sinasabi ko lang to kasi maganda yung intention ko ha, hindi ko gustong masaktan ka. But ang intention ko is to really help you or to really guide you in your actions or in your response. So yon, okay? That's how you are being sincere to everyone. Alright, I think that's all for the discussion. Now let's have this simple post-assessment. Okay, so the instruction is to choose a word from the box below and give an example on how you're going to use it to promote respect for individual differences and healthy relationship. Just have to write your answer on a clean sheet of paper. So we have this word in the box. So we have respectful, helpful, thoughtful, cheerful, approachable, honest, resourceful, energetic, organized, creative, focused, and calm. Just have to choose a word from this box. Again, you may pause this video so I can give you much time answering this post assessment. Okay, timer starts now. Alright. Alright. We're done with our post-assessment. Now let's have time to reflect. So I have this quotation. It says here that embracing uniqueness is the key to transforming relationships. So what does it mean? So again, everyone is unique in their own ways. I am unique. My friend is unique. But given that my friend is unique, I also recognize our differences. Ako, mahilig ako sa maanghang. Si friend, mahilig sa normal food, sa salty food. Ako, ang preference ko sa movie, more of comedy. Si friend, ang genre niya is more of sci-fi. Ako, mahilig ako sa bright colors. Si friend, dark colors. But despite those differences, despite those similarities, we always see our perspective or different perspective and belief. And we recognize these beliefs or perspective. And by recognizing, it means embracing, accepting. And now, ako and si friend, we are already friends for already 5 years. So what does it mean? Once you accept one's differences or one's similarities, you are already establishing or building relationship in that one. That's why embracing uniqueness is the key to transforming relationships. There you go. Now we are done with our lesson. Thank you, my great learners, for listening. I hope to see you again in my next video classes. Once again, I am Great Teacher Kate. If you love what we have discussed today, please have a comment or please leave a comment, for I will be happy to read it. Promise that I will be more inspired in sharing lessons in our great community. Again, for more updates, you can follow us on YouTube and Facebook at the Great Teachers Academy. Remember, here in the Great Teachers Academy, we make complex lessons easier to understand. Goodbye and see you!